at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
News and weather this hour is brought to you by Capital Window and Door on Talk 104 and 93 WKCT Bowling Green.
You're listening to Sports Talk, presented by Greenwood Ford.
It is Wednesday night. You know what that means. It is Sports Talk live here on Talk 104, 93 BKCT, presented by Greenwood Ford. And man, we got an awesome show for you tonight. But first, let's introduce the cast and crew of characters. Cole Scott is on assignment. He is not here. We are joined by tonight from the Sporting Times and WKO, Logan Blanford. How's it going, Logan?
Going good. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. And also we got Will Gerber back there as well, too, from Sporting Times and WKU as well. What's going on, Will?
Not a whole lot, Brian. You mean, I'm choking on the microphone almost, but go Tops!
You sound like the Tyson Hilton commercial. Very nice, very nice. Also, thanks to our title sponsors as well, too, Greenwood Ford, as well as Campbell Chevrolet, Hill Mattress More, and Breen and Williford Injury Law Attorneys. All right, let's give you the rundown of the guest list tonight here on the show. We have Athletic Director from South Warren High School, Mr. Jason Grissom, joining us in a few mere moments, plus the South Warren Spartans boys volleyball region championship team, head coach Erika Wenger, and some players will be joining us tonight, too, as well. And then the after party, Cal Friedman from Bowling Hot Rods will be joining us, too, as well. Hot Rods clinched the first half of their division in the first half of the season, hitting the playoffs on Thursday, September 10th. So we'll talk about that and a whole lot more with them. All right, the big news going on right now is about state baseball and state softball. We'll start with baseball first because, Logan, you was broadcasting the game for Sporting Times, and you saw Bowling Green versus McCracken County. So just talk about the game that you saw.
Yeah, saw a pretty lopsided game, to put it pretty bluntly. I mean, that was, Bowling Green, for how good they had been all year, they looked, they had the 8 days off before, but so did McCracken. And it just really looked like Bowling Green was rusty, and it was, they just didn't do a whole lot right. Not a lot of bounces went their way. And, McCracken County got a 6-0 win. McCracken County's a really good team. I mean, we know how good they are in baseball all the time. I mean, if you talk about, high school baseball in the past decade, you're thinking Trinity, St. X, and McCracken.
Right.
And so, they've been to 3 finals, probably trying to get to a 4th here. Probably not going to win it, but they are always good. They've always got a squad, and it was just too much for the Purples on Thursday. Caden Kern was on the mound for the Mustangs, and he just shut Bowling Green down. They couldn't do anything with the bats whatsoever. Purples also made some boneheaded plays on the base paths as well, got thrown out a couple of times in spots that they shouldn't have. And, yeah, I mean, it was a dominant performance by McCracken County. Me and Lincoln Bryant were doing the game, and it was like we didn't even know we were watching there at the end. I mean, Bowling Green just didn't have anything for them.
You talk about Kearns was on the mound. How many hits he had? Like 2 or 3 in the whole entire game? 3? Yep. Wow. And did any runner get in scoring position at all?
They had 2 on third.
Okay.
They had Notmeyer got to third in the first inning.
Wow.
And we thought Bowling Green was going to be able to hang in there. And then nobody else got to third till I think the 6th inning when the game was already done. So
if Bowling Green could have scored first, do you think it could have made a big difference?
Probably not. I think McCracken just had too much with the bats. And even they are a very disciplined team. They make no mistakes. You can tell that those guys have been playing together since they were probably 4 or 5 years old. Wow. I think over there in Paducah they've got the pipeline pretty organized of how they get them in there. I mean they're you can see the chemistry between all of them is just evident. And like I said, Bowling Green just played a team that was kind of out of their league, to be quite frankly, and that's that's what a lot of people talk about how, Bowling Green's schedule this year, talking about how, they only had the 5 losses in the regular season. Well, 4 losses in the regular season. The 5th one was to Greenwood in the district championship. Mm-hmm. But, there's people saying, like, Bowling Green probably should have challenged themselves a little bit more in the regular season. And so maybe you say that, that you could chalk it up to them not having played a team like McCracken really, besides the beginning of the season when they played University Heights, I think at the beginning of the year, beat them. Right. Played another team in the tournament, I believe, as well. But yeah, just didn't have a whole lot of beef behind that resume. And so you go into that McCracken game, you're up against it, and McCracken took care of business.
Wow. Well, great season for them.
Yep.
On the softball side of things, we have a South Warren Spartans team. There's 2 wins away from winning a state championship.
Yeah, I thought it was looking pretty grim there on Saturday for a little bit. It was, but then they pulled through. I was listening to Tyler calling it, Tyler and Connor right there, and it sounded like it was a great ball game. It went all the way down to the wire, 8 innings. When Madison Central scored the 8th, I was like, shit, they're gonna blow it. And then they came back and Layla Ogden just called game, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it started with Parker Willoughby with the double. That started it all right there. That leadoff hit, getting momentum going, and then Layla on a full count pitch took it over the left field wall, and it looked like at first it maybe was not going to go, but it just kept going and going and going, and then, wow, it just went over the fence. And go to Madison Central, I believe, if I'm mistaken, their home run in the 8th inning bounced off the top of the wall. Yeah, it did. So
yeah, I heard it was
like, wow.
Something weird, yeah.
It was like, wow, my goodness. And so, and gotta give credit, Katie Drury pitched one heck of a game. She really, really did. I think she did like 124, 126 pitches, something like that. Threw one heck of a game. But South Warren found a way to get it done. And that is, when you're trying to make a state championship run like that, especially in the state tournament, you're going to have a game or two that's going to test you and see,
that was the game.
Test your medal. And that may be the game. And this Friday against Highlands could be the game too as well.
Well, you think back to the region championship game too against Barron County.
Yes.
I'm thinking that game against Barron, and I'm thinking Madison Central. Like, they win this championship, those are the 2 games I'm thinking about where they actually had to go through adversity and still found a way to fight through it. And that's what you got to do, because let's be honest, they haven't been tested a lot this year. They just haven't. And so when they, now that they've gotten to this point, we've seen them overcome a couple of times now. So now we know that this team, even when they're maybe on the back foot for a lot of the game, like they were against Madison Central, they can still find a way to get it done.
Yep. And they're going to face a Highlands team. They have a starting pitcher. They're going to be throwing. She's 30-3, .66 ERA. Has about 340 strikeouts, like 50 walks. Is pretty good as well too. So that's going to be tough right there. If we had to choose a MOP right now for softball side, it's got to be the 8th grader, Callie Kuzma, who has the most hits right now.
How about MVP
in the tournament? Yes. Yeah. She has the most hits right now in the tournament. Now, Kinley Russell has the most RBIs in the tournament with 4. And then, of course, Callie and Layla has home runs as well, too, on top of that. So, and then, of course, Norwood's pitched very well. So, so you have, if I had to choose right now, it's the 8th grader, Callie Kuzma. Wow. An 8th grader is just stepping up and just, she's playing like she's a senior. And she's only in 8th grade. And she's 4 or 6 from the plate with a home run.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Yeah, she's really talented. And she's a pretty good basketball player, too. But,
yes, she is.
But, you think about, it's funny that we're having this conversation because, thinking about this team all along, you're thinking about this senior class that's been so phenomenal. And, we're sitting here talking about the best player of the tournament being an 8th grader.
Right.
So, it just shows your depth from top to bottom as far as, how much you have to work with beyond the senior class. So,
with Callie Kuzma, Keegan Pruitt, and some other young players that can really, really play, we could be here 3 years from now talking about how good that team could be just as good as this team is right now. It's very possible. That's how much talent she's got that's coming up. It's pretty scary. It is very scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to keep coming to them. I mean, they've got. I mean, Kelly does a great job.
She does,
I mean, and she. I mean, she's going to have a talented team every year, and so they're going to be. You know, maybe not quite like this every year, but this is probably an anomaly. But they're gonna always be a threat.
Oh yes, no question about that. All right. Well, again, we thank our sponsors: Greenwood Ford, Campbell Chevrolet, Breen and Williford, and Hill Mattress and more. Don't forget, go to our Facebook page. You can see my interview I conducted yesterday with Mallory Hudson, McLean Hudson's sister, Travis Hudson's niece too as well. And of course, it's Miss Kentucky Week here in Bowling Green. She'll talk about that, but she also talked about her sister McLean, South Warren Spartans softball, and a whole lot more. So definitely go to our Facebook page and check that out too as well. All right, we'll take a break. Coming up next, Athletic Director from South Warren High School, Mr. Jason Grissom, joins us next. Sports Talk, live on Talk 104, 93 BKCT, presented by Greenwood Ford.
Right now at Greenwood Ford Lincoln, with employee pricing for all, you pay what we pay on almost all new Ford inventory. That means this is a great time to take a serious look at getting into a new Ford and seeing just how much value is on the table. If you've been waiting for the right time, this could be it. So come see us at Greenwood Ford Lincoln and ask us about the employee pricing today.
Big news, Bowling Green. Hills Mattress and More is bigger and better. They've expanded to bring you even more of what you love. We're talking top quality mattresses, furniture, appliances, and TVs. Plus, with financing options and no credit needed, it's never been easier to bring home comfort and style. Come see the all-new expanded Hills Mattress and More at 2539 Mount Victor Lane. Now with more to offer. Hills Mattress and More. Come see what's new.
Shop for your next car or truck at Campbell Chevrolet and Campbell Pre-Owned on both corners of Gary Farms Boulevard at Scottsville Road. If you do not see what you want, please let us know, since the inventory changes every day. Great money-saving prices on both corners. Rebates and low interest rates are back on new Chevrolets. Drop by and enjoy shopping. We make it easy. Campbell Chevrolet on Scottsville Road.
Are we back? There we go. I think we're back now. Here we are. What's going on back there, Logan? What's going on back there, man?
I don't know what's going on. Will the technician's trying to figure it out.
Okay, all right. We're back here on Sports Talk here live on Talk 104, 90 KCT, presented by Greenwood Ford. And now let's bring in our guest, the athletic director from South Warren High School, Mr. Jason Grissom. Good evening, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem, no problem. Exciting times for you, sir, isn't it?
Busy times, but very exciting. Wouldn't have it any other way right now.
Wow. Well, before we talk about softball, because I know that's going to be probably the main thing we're going to be talking about a lot of, just talk about 2025 and 2026. What a year for South Warren athletics.
Well, I was, as we were talking earlier, I had to get on my phone and make notes, so I tried not to leave anything out, but I'll just give you a quick rundown of what the teams have accomplished this year. I'll start with football. Obviously a regional championship and a state 6A runner-up. Boys swimming won a regional championship for the first time in school history.
Wow.
Boys soccer, regional runner-up. Boys basketball, a shout out to them, regional runner-up for the first time in school history. The first time the boys basketball team has even made the regional tournament.
Yep.
And, that was quite an accomplishment for that group of guys. And Coach Quarles, and they do a great job. But, sometimes what gets lost in boys basketball is the district you have to play in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be the third best team in the region, and you never make it, because of, your competition. So it's really good. Boys lacrosse, district champs this year for the second, third time in a row. Boys track won the regional championship, I believe, maybe the first time in school history. Girls track was runner-up. Boys volleyball, who I know you're going to have on in a minute. They were regional champs for the second year in a row, and they made the state quarterfinals. And last year they made the Final Four, so that's the second year in a row for that. Our girls' team tennis in the team event was state runner-up. Just a phenomenal year. We had several individual regional champions out of tennis, so Coach Young and that group just did a great job. And then, obviously, we're still into softball.
Logan, you got a question or anything? Or
yeah, man. He just went down a list. Yeah, I guess. Jason, just talk about how you guys kind of maintain success with all your athletic programs. With because there is a lot of competition around the area. It's not easy to. In terms of everything except for football. It's a tough district and a tough region. Just talk about how you guys kind of go about maintaining the success.
Well, the first thing I want to say is this foundation was laid way before I got here. It started with Chris Decker and first athletic director and Terry Cook, principal. They had the vision and put all this together. And it also doesn't hurt when you have a lot of coaches that are not only state championship level, but I'm talking Hall of Fame level coaches that I walked into. And then, great talent, a great school culture. But I was on, with Cole last year on TV, and we talked about the standard at South Warren High School and the expectations. They're always there in every sport. It doesn't mean you win in every sport. It doesn't mean we don't have some building to do in some different areas. But once you set that, the expectations are there, and the next group that comes in knows, hey, when I play for South Warren, these are the expectations. And once you start that, you get that ball rolling. But it is tough to maintain that because you can, become complacent. So that's what you got to watch out for. And nobody around there is complacent or happy with where they're at. I couldn't even, you could come out and look. One day this summer, Jeff Ashby and I, who was the AD before me, assistant principal now, we're going to go out and count the number of regional championships since the school opened. 16 years ago. It's too many, it's going to take about half a day to go through all those trophies and maybe get on the KHSAA website if it's still working by then. And but it all started because I was teaching there way back when it first opened. We were good in nothing. We were brand new. Nothing was any good. And in the second year of the school, the baseball team won the district, and then they won the region. And I'm not saying all this success wouldn't have happened without that, but it has grown organically, but that started it all. So, Coach Gage and the baseball team got this whole thing started because the other kids looked at that and said, hey, they did it, we can do it too. And then football caught on, and then, it's just become the standard there to compete for these regional championships. But I'm going to tell you, I mentioned runners-up because they don't give regional championships away.
No.
And just because you show up and you've got South Warren uniform on, those other teams do not care. We saw that the other day, Saturday, from Madison Central. So it is a big deal to win a regional championship. So we take a lot of pride in that.
Do you think there's I could call it friendly competition among the programs? You saw football be a state runner-up. Hey, I want my team to be this way too as well, and so forth like that down the line.
Oh, absolutely. And, don't be surprised if you see a Brandon Smith up there this weekend. I've seen him the last 3 years up there at the regional tournament. Now, you wouldn't have seen them. They were up in the park structure.
Yeah.
I know there were several coaches of just about every program. Coaches were there cheering those girls on and watching them. So, it's something that we take pride in the whole school. And especially as athletic director now, I see I definitely take pride in everything. But when I see other coaches taking pride in other sports, and going and watching them and cheering them on and having a sense of not only pride, but, wanting to see them win, that's a big deal, and that catches on quick.
So, Jason, I got a question. So, before this year, the boys basketball was kind of the one you all just couldn't quite get over the hump in. and then you finally made that jump, and Coach Q and the guys got to the region tournament for the first time ever. Just kind of talk about maybe that program a little bit and why it's maybe just taking a little bit longer, but I mean you got there this year.
Well, if you look back, there's not been a lot of consistency with coaches staying and truly building the program year after year. Now I wasn't there, so I don't know all the details in that. But with Coach Quarles, you see somebody who's there for the long haul and who wants to build the program. And and what happened this year has been his goal the entire time. It's taking him longer. He and I have had conversations in my office, and I always told him, I said, you are the guy for this, and he proved that this year. Good regular season. Had some injuries and some sickness, and we kind of fell off there a little bit in late February, but then made that fantastic run, and that's all because of his vision, work ethic. I'm telling you, those guys are in the gym constantly.
Right.
Even right after the season was over, open gyms. They're working out, and that's what it takes in today's time. When I was in school many years ago, you played basketball during this time, and then this, that, and the other. But they've all become year round, and the time that not only they but a lot of our athletes, have to give is just tremendous now, and they have to put a lot into it. But nobody works harder, than Coach Quarles. So I was very happy for him and for those boys, to be able to do what they did this year. It was really neat to watch. Very proud of them.
So take us behind the scenes of what you do, because I believe not only you're the high school athletic director, but aren't you the middle school athletic director too as well?
I am over the middle school.
Wow, that's a lot of work, sir.
It is a lot. It is very consuming, would be a word I would use. And when you throw the middle school into it, I'm just going to give you an example. So I was on Arbiter today, and that's where we run all our, eligibility for kids and, have our rosters and everything. And, of course, we're still going with softball, which we'll talk about in a minute, but there were 841 student athletes on a roster this year, just at the high school.
Yikes. Wow.
So you throw between 300 and 400 at the middle school, it becomes overwhelming. But I have an assistant who runs the middle school for, who does the day-to-day operations. Shout out to Keith Hetzer. And he does a phenomenal job, and that takes a lot off my plate. Now, I'm still over it. He'll call, and we'll talk through things, but he handles so much. That's how I'm able to do it. If I didn't have somebody down there, I don't know that I'd be sitting in this chair right now talking to you. I'd be doing something else because it is very overwhelming. But it's rewarding in the end. I'm getting better about looking at everything, in the positive light and not letting. There's always going to be a little negativity, no matter what you do in athletics, and I'm getting better about kind of drowning that out and focusing on the positive. But it's a huge job, probably the hardest. No, it is the hardest job I've ever had, but probably the most rewarding at the same time.
Yep. So, all right. Let's get to the main thing, which is softball this weekend coming up. All right, so you was there Saturday. Take us to your thoughts about the Madison Central game on Saturday.
What did Logan say? It looked grim. I was during that eighth inning. Well, the whole game just had a different feel to it, and I want to tell you about the different feel. The feel was Madison Central did not care. No. They were not intimidated at all. And sometimes we play teams that are beat before the first pitch is even pitched, and that was not the case.
Right.
And so I kind of knew about that second, third inning. I thought, oh, we're in a dogfight, and this team can play right here. I mean, they won 30 games. I mean, you're not playing against a 500 team.
That's right.
So I knew they were good, and you just watch it unfold, and very nervous for the kids. And Coach Reynolds, we get that. What did we get? A triple off maybe an error from the center fielder.
Yes.
When we didn't have any runs, maybe that scored a run. I don't know. I was in a fog. I was really nervous. But then, what about the suicide squeeze call?
Yes.
Parker Willoughby lays down a perfect
Yes.
bunt. We get that run in. You go up 2-1. You think, okay, so you breathe a little easier. And you think, here we go. But that team did not quit. Not only do they tie it, we go extra innings. And they take the lead. And, yes, that girl hit the top of the fence and it bounced over. So then you start doubting, maybe this just ain't. Maybe it's not meant to be this year.
Right.
So those doubts creep, but it didn't creep in their heads, our girls' heads.
Right.
Maybe some of us old curmudgeons up in the stands were like, oh, no. But, man, they just what a phenomenal win. And then, I think you and I were talking earlier, what gets lost in all this, obviously Ogden's huge home run. But, McLean Hudson makes 2 unbelievable defensive plays.
Yes.
They score more runs. We're in a bigger deficit probably if she doesn't make those plays, the over-the-shoulder, the Willie Mays, I called it out there from shortstop, and then the line drive that she stopped. And then, but she's been great all year. You talked about Kuzma, what she's done in this tournament. And I was talking to somebody in the crowd who said, she's unbelievable. And I think a lot of it with her, she's in 8th grade, so the pressure and the moment isn't really too big for her because she's never done it before.
Right.
And then, we get to that 8th inning and, don't lose that Parker Willoughby stepped right up and drilled one to center field to get on second. And then Ogden and when Ogden hit it where I was sitting, it was a really high, it was a moonshot home run. So you don't know if it's going to get out or not. But in my mind, the ball went up so high, I'm thinking in my mind, well, at least Willoughby will be able to get to third.
Right.
With 1 out, and we can at least tie this thing up. And it kept carrying and carrying. And then, when you see that left fielder stop at the fence, it's just pure elation.
Yeah, you knew it was gone. Right.
At that point, and it's telling on myself. I was sitting on the top row of Crop Stadium, and they've got the little bar behind it, like where people can set their drinks. I think I literally jumped over that. And how I got out of bed Sunday morning, I don't know, because I haven't done anything like that in a long time. But that was just that feeling. And for those girls, who have been up there, Kelly Reynolds was showing me pictures today of Layla, McLean, Courtney, pitching in the state tournament as a 7th grader.
Yes.
Layla and McLean playing as 8th graders. And I hadn't realized, they've been up there a lot, and they've been really close a lot. And another thing is the pressure that these girls, have had on them all year. And to not only overcome that and not lose a game. You played the #1 team in the country at one time down at their place, too.
At their place, right.
And won handily, what they've done. And that the other day proved that they're, a team of destiny. Doesn't mean, I'm not saying they're going to win,
Right.
Nothing's given. We saw that the other day. But for them not to drop their heads and say, it's just not our night, just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it definitely would have been probably cool to be there and see. And hopefully this weekend's an even cooler one. But like you said, that team has been together for so long, and they've been at this stage before, and they all have the attitude that this is their year. I mean, they are not gonna let it get away from them, and you can just see that in how they play, and Coach Kelly Reynolds, like the way she coaches, she's never satisfied with them. Like she pushes them probably harder than they think they can probably push themselves, but I think that's why that ship runs like it does, is just they have the process down.
Well, Kelly's one of those that, when I refer to future Hall of Famers, she's definitely, without a doubt going to be in the softball coaching Hall of Fame one day. But, you bring up a good point. She can push them, but the culture there is that they understand that. But the way they can all still get along, and they love her.
Oh, yes.
Despite her, her pushing them, probably sometimes more than, like he said, they wanted to be pushed. But I think they understand now, the ultimate goal, and she's pushing them to that. And, the rest of us are just along for the ride and just having a good time. 43-0. Goodness gracious. It's unbelievable.
Well, let me ask you one more question before we get you out of here, because we got the, like I said, the boys volleyball team. They're here, and the region champs. They're going to talk about that too as well. So if they get 2 wins on Saturday, that means undefeated season. Hasn't happened in this area since Greenwood did it. 2013, 2014, something like that.
Right.
State champions, undefeated, and potentially a national championship too as well, because they're ranked number 1 in some polls. What would that mean to South Warren High School for all that if it happens all this weekend?
If that happens, I never like to look ahead.
Right.
I think you have to consider them one of the greatest teams in KHSAA history, regardless of sport. If you look at what they've done this year, listen, they've already cemented themselves at South Warren, and they give us all great pride. They're just a great group of girls to watch play. You really root for them, the way they get along. But this just puts them at what do you want to say, a Hall of Fame level? I don't know. It just right up there. But I think not only at South Warren, but the whole state of Kentucky.
Oh, yes.
I'm not just talking softball. I'm talking about one of the greatest teams ever.
Right.
They're on the verge of possibly pulling that off. We got to finish the deal, and everybody understands that, and it's not a given by any stretch of the imagination. You were reading up some of those Highland pitcher stats, and you've already got me nervous. So, everybody's nervous. Everybody knows. Right.
Everybody knows what's coming up next.
And I think somebody posted the other night the record of the teams left. Of course, we're undefeated. Is 147-15.
Yes, it is.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So it is the 4 best teams.
It is.
There's been no upsets. There's no walkthroughs. It is. You have the 4 best teams right now.
That's right.
And so if they win that, if they can pull that off this weekend, it's not like somebody beat somebody and you got an easy path.
Right.
They have worked their way into it, and they will have earned it. They will have definitely earned that title. And a quick story about volleyball, you got to ask them.
Okay,
4 of them graduated after that quarterfinal game. And shout out to the KHSAA for allowing that to happen. They allowed us to give them their diplomas because some of those guys missed their graduation.
So yourself and others, or was it like
me and our district athletic director, Greg Howard, they let us go out there right after the game, after they'd given out the award, and we were able to give them diplomas. So that was really neat, and they played Pomp and Circumstances. It was just great.
Nice.
For those guys. So, but I'm sure they'll tell you about it. But, what a job I have. It's phenomenal to be able to come and talk about all the accomplishments of all the teams. And I know we focused on softball for obvious reasons. They're still playing. And, the whole athletic program makes me proud. We're not perfect, and we got areas to grow in, but I'm glad to be a part of it.
Outstanding. Thanks for taking time, Mr. Grissom, for joining us tonight. We will definitely see you up there this weekend. I know you're ready. I'm sure everybody's ready. It should be a massive black and white crowd up there for
you got to come
Warren.
out and support them. Yeah, definitely need the support this weekend. We'll definitely need it.
All right. Thanks for stopping by and joining us tonight.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Mr. Jason Grissom, athletic director from South Warren High School, is joining us here on Sports Talk, here on Talk 104, WKCT. We'll take a quick break. So we'll get ready for that. When we come back, it'll be head coach Erika Wenger and the South Warren Spartans boys volleyball team, back-to-back region champs. Be joining us next right here on Sports Talk, live on Talk 104, 93 BKCT, presented by Greenwood Ford.
Brought back one of its biggest offers with a message that says it all.
Right, let's go.
American values for American values. Right now at Greenwood Ford Lincoln, with employee pricing for all, you pay what we pay on almost all new Ford inventory. That means this is a great time to take a serious look at getting into a new Ford and seeing just how much value is on the table. If you've been waiting for the right time, this could be it. So come see us at Greenwood Ford Lincoln and ask us about the employee pricing today.
As a paratrooper and combat veteran of the U.S. Army, I was trained to run toward the sounds of battle, not away from them. I brought that same mentality home to Kentucky to fight for my clients. I'm injury lawyer Will Williford, and where there's a will, there's a way. When life knocks you down after an injury, you need someone to help you get back up. If you or a loved one has been hurt, give me a call. I'm injury lawyer Will Williford, a proud Kentuckian representing proud Kentuckians. Remember, where there's a will, there's a way.
Are you in the market for a new SUV? Well, try shopping at Campbell Chevrolet. Small, medium, or large, you have an impressive number of choices. Choose from a new Trax, Equinox, Blazer, Traverse, Tahoe, or Suburban. We give you choices, and we will be happy to help you with your best deal. Shop online or in person. Campbell Chevrolet, Scottsville Road.
You guys don't get headphones. See ya. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, Sports Talk here live on Talk 104, 930 KCT, presented by Greenwood Ford. And as we adjust the cameras here to get everybody here on the big shot here for the players, there we go. And now we bring in head coach Erika Wenger and the back-to-back region champion South Warren Spartans boys volleyball team. Good evening, Coach.
Hello, thank you for having us.
You gotta get close to the microphone, Coach.
I don't like to talk into it.
Okay. All right. Well, talk about the players you brought with you, Coach.
This is Avery Brooks. He's one of our outside hitters. This is Jacob Chhuana. He is also an outside hitter. This is Emmanuel Muan. He is a libero DS. This is Dazlou Chann. He's a right side hitter. This is Basta, and he is a DS.
Wow. All right. Well, first off, congratulations. Back-to-back
Thank
region
you.
champions. Talk about the road to get that championship.
I don't know. It's just been really fun. The boys have been so... Is it me?
I don't know what's going on back there. What's going on back there, Logan? What's going on back there?
Nothing's going on.
Okay. All right. Just keep going. It's like a short or something going on there. Go ahead.
Everything, they make it just fun. They're energetic every practice. They come in ready to work. They're willing to do anything that I ask them to do and try to make it better. And they just want to have fun, and doing that makes them be as good as they are.
Okay. For the players, so talk about the season. Talk about the journey to a back-to-back region championship, which I guess this is back-to-back. Everybody was here back-to-back?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Let's talk about back-to-back region championships.
I guess I'll go first. Okay. For sure, it was definitely a surprise, especially coming to the. Obviously, I heard that we did a interview preseason. Mm-hmm. It was definitely a surprise that we were undefeated, and it was something that we never expected. You know, we were expecting some wins and some losses, but the effort that we all put in, just, I guess in total, that we got this far. And it wasn't just because of, us all in together, but because of how we really wanted it. And that was the saying that we all said the entire season, like, if we really want it, then we would win. And I guess that's my say.
Who else?
What was the question?
How was the season?
Oh, the season? Yeah, the season went great. I heard y'all were talking about like Ohio County was our biggest rivals, but it's Greenwood now, and I would like to shout them out. Obviously, our cameraman too, ET for sure. And then our season, we're gonna be sad that the seniors are going, but obviously we'll keep staying undefeated, especially with Jacob here and stuff,
Boy, you built some more material, aren't you?
He's hyping everyone up already.
All right. Anybody else talk about the season that y'all had?
We just had a really good season, great chemistry from last year, and hopefully continue it next year.
Okay.
Just lean forward a little bit.
On my perspective, I didn't expect us to go undefeated, like this year itself. But after seeing how hard everyone was playing, how hard everyone was training, it paid off. That's all I'm gonna say. It paid off.
Okay.
Honestly, we put in a lot of work during the season, which was hard. But I'm not surprised we did, so good throughout the season because of how hard Coach pushes us. And also, I just want to say that Greenwood is our biggest rivals now. And even though I'm graduating, I'm still not going to like them.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my
Wow,
man.
I'm going to have to send some text to Nicole later.
Yeah. I mean, them two are pretty tight. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm like, Nicole's one of my homies, so now I'm going to have to explain this.
She'll be okay.
Lord. All right, y'all.
Erika, maybe talk about kind of the how much this program's grown in just a short period of time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, when we started it last year, I did not expect for it to go as well and take off as much as it did. And these boys, seriously, it's all because of them. They're so energetic. They just want to come in and play and learn. I have to ask them to not go to Buchanan to play after my own practice. Like, they'll come into school and practice for 2 hours, and then as a team, they'll walk over to Buchanan and continue to practice or, like, play around and have fun. Like, they just want it all the time. They want to continue to get better. They're so coachable. Like, it's all, I don't know, it's them. And the program grows because they're encouraging and they want other people to be a part of that.
And then maybe like a follow-up, like what intrigued you enough to be able to be a part of the startup of the boys program? Because you were the girls coach. You could have easily just stuck to that. And but what made you kind of want to start this thing up?
So lots of boys had been, Reed Roebuck was one, like harping on me all the time, being like, we need to get a boys program. We need to get a boys program, especially the year after Drew Hudson left was crazy. We should have had it the year before, but after seeing him and he gets a D1 scholarship, like that's something that we wanted to also provide. Then we had Ardit, one of our other players, and he was asking me to start like a club and start all this, and I'm like, we just need to get a school team going. And so we sat down with admin, and I don't know, they were they wanted it so bad, like that makes me want to be a part of that. And so it was easy for me to just be like, yep, I'll do it.
So why was you against them to going over to practice after your practice? Why are you against that?
I'm not always against it, but when we got close into like state finals and we were in the Elite Eight and they're all trying to go over there, and I just like them to be careful. So
right.
But they play in like grass tournaments. They play sand. They just want to be playing all the time, which makes all the difference.
So, guys, let's talk about your experiences. I mean, what do y'all play? Like what? Like you said, sand or grass? Or you play in clubs? Or I mean, what kind of volleyball y'all play?
I played KPV club ball before the school season this year, so that was a lot of fun.
It's a little bit different experience. They get to do a lot of travel in club, and obviously, and go different places and see different teams. So, obviously, they're not. He and Reed played together, but that was the only two from our team. So he gets to play with different athletes then as well. Get coached by different coaches. You guys talk about sand and grass because y'all do that.
I guess I'll go. So I didn't play club. I just feel like it wasn't the need for me, especially towards my future. But typically in Bowling Green, we have just like a community of volleyball, and it's like we have this really big group chat. It ranges from different ages, but whenever there's like, if someone wants to go play, someone says in the group chat like, oh, we should go to Buchanan or grass or sand, and whoever wants to pull up can just pull up. And it's not like you have to be in that group chat to pull up. It's like as long as you're having fun and you're able to play, then you can pull up. And that's what really got us into volleyball. Just like the positive atmosphere, especially in Bowling Green, how supportive we are with each other, and I think not just us, but even the younger generations, they're starting to come too, and we want to pass it on. Because instead of having that negative, I guess, environment that kind of pushes people away from a new sport, because I think for all of us, we only started playing volleyball like high school year. Like we didn't play beforehand, and because of that, it was like a new experience. And that new experience, typically for a lot of people, we were like very scared of. But because of how close it is and tight knit it is, I guess like we just liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because of that, we were able to like have like an easier time having building our connection with each other. Because like usually with a new team, the only struggle will be like the team chemistry, how well we can get along with each other and play together. But because we've already been playing with each other and being comfortable playing with new people, I think we were better able to build a closer bond as a team and be able to play as a team, even though we didn't know each other beforehand. Stuff like that.
So my story is I only started because my dad was he played for FSM Olympics, right? So it's like back in the islands type of thing. It's Olympics for Islanders, but he really got me into it, and I came to the States after I was like 9 when I first came here. So when I first came here, I was like I stopped playing because I found it boring. Not a lot of people play with. But after I came to South Warren, I think it was either Wa or him. They invited me to go play grass, or it was sand. They invited me to go play with them, and then after that, I got back into it, and I started building more like, I say, connections with who they played with, and building connections with them. It got stronger and stronger. As it got stronger, my connection to volleyball grew stronger. So I was like, I really liked it, so I got back into it.
I knew Coach Wenger through school, and I hadn't touched a volleyball since like 6th grade PE. And my sport growing up was ice hockey and wrestling and baseball, and I had no clue that I would play volleyball, but you know, she kept trying to convince me to play, and I'm like, you know, I'll show up to open gym, probably won't make the team, just have some fun. But I did make the team both times, surprisingly, and it was a lot of fun to play, and I made a lot of friends through it.
So, Coach, has everybody talked, or
They're good.
Everybody's good? Okay. At what point of the season, Coach, did you start realizing that everything was coming together and you can make another run at winning another region championship?
Honestly, pretty early in the season. I felt like last year, like they said, they all had kind of started to play together outside of us making a team, like before that. And then like the first couple open gyms last year, they invited like the new people and people that were showing up to open gyms. And so then the connection already started building from that. And so our connection last year, I felt like was already really solid. And then this year we just came in so confident. They came into open gyms, they came into tryouts, like they knew each other, they were confident, they were supportive. And so pretty early on, I was like, I didn't necessarily think that meant we were going on another huge run like we did, but their connection was so crazy from the start of the season that I just knew it was going to be a good season with them. Whether we lost or not, they were going to come back. They were going to be positive. They were going to have fun doing it. And so, I don't know. They just show up like that every day. It amazes me.
Well, let me ask the seniors, because we just had Mr. Grissom on to talk about this. And how cool was it for you all to get your diplomas at state tournament?
So these two did not get their diplomas at state tournament. They chose to walk in graduation. So they didn't come up with us. And that's okay. That's okay. We were supportive of them. The second that, I will say this, the second that we lost the Elite 8 game, we hustled back to the hotel, and the boys were all sitting in one hotel room, and they pulled up the graduation ceremony on YouTube, and they watched their teammates walk across the stage, which was super awesome to watch them do that.
Okay.
And again, shows what a tight-knit family they are. That was so important for them to see.
Okay. I guess any of those?
These are all juniors. They were all there.
Oh, okay, okay. So none of your seniors was here.
Yep,
then?
no.
Okay.
They're seniors, but they just didn't go with us to the on the run Friday night.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No problem. Well, so the success of South Warren volleyball this season and last season too as well. How much has interest grown for more boys to come out and play for the Spartans volleyball team?
I would say a significant amount.
Okay.
We had an interest meeting. We added a JV team this year, so they only got 3 games in. Shout out to them. They're undefeated, 3-0. But they got 3 games in this season, so we definitely had enough to make 2 teams, 15 and 10. So that was 25 boys on one team. We reached out. We had, 1 7th grader on the team, 2 8th graders on the team, and then a couple freshmen moving up and stuff like that. So we had an informational meeting at the middle school. We had 30 boys show up.
Wow.
So it's getting out there. People are getting more interested. It's just kind of trying to figure out if you're in baseball or if you're in basketball, trying to figure out the timing of when to get in the gym for volleyball.
Logan or Will, any questions, or you want me to keep going, or what?
I go.
Okay, go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
All right, so what impact has, I know it's collegiate volleyball, it's women's volleyball, but what has WKU's program and Travis Hudson, what is his legacy and that impact had on the community as a whole?
It's insane. I look up to him a lot, and he has helped. I mean, I have called him a couple times. I have texted him a couple times asking questions. Something that we're interested in is the double libero. It's a new rule that's coming into volleyball, and they've been able to run it at the collegiate level, but it's new for us. And so I had lots of questions on that. So he's been super helpful in that. They're running a boys' camp this summer. It's July 6th. It'll be like all day, like 9 to 4. It's open to a big group of ages. I think like 6 to high school. I can't really remember the age group exactly, but it's a super good opportunity to get kids out there and involved. And he wants, because of Drew and his team and things, he wants this sport to grow and be better. So he is being super helpful, and he inspires. I think you guys look up to women's volleyball and men's volleyball. They watch both kinds, and he's an influence for them as well.
All right, so players, talk about practice with Coach Wenger. What's it like?
I don't like the pause.
Just step up. Just step up to the mic. Go ahead.
You said I'll take this one.
So honestly, the practices were actually a lot of fun, but hard, and I will not. Practices were a lot of fun. Everyone on the team is a close family, and that's what made practices better. So we're kind of trauma bonded through the fact of having to run some of these drills over and over again.
Trauma bonded?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Just
a word.
drills over and over again. But, coaches, even if she likes you, she likes everyone on the team, but she's not going to be afraid to lay into you, which has happened to me before. And a lot of kids will get mad at that, but, that's part of coaching you have to accept. And I think she did a great job, and the practices were hard but fun.
Thank you, Liam.
I guess I'll go. So with how Wenger coaches, I would say, okay, I guess I'll say this out. But beginning of the season, we had heard that Greenwood had a open gym, and a couple of us showed up.
Yeah,
secretly.
They were doing secret agent work and going to Greenwood's open gyms, and I did not know that.
And I would say the
That's
coaching.
not cool.
Yeah, it was it's very different, and I realized that even though it's very the coaching between the two coaches are very different, but I feel like Winger really stuck out with our team specifically because of how it wasn't just a everyday practice where you have to get through it. It was just I guess to build chemistry. Is that a way of saying it?
Yeah, we do it to build chemistry.
And because of that, I feel like it wasn't really just focusing on our own skills, because when you just focus on yourself, you wouldn't know how your other teammates would be playing. If there was a free ball, we would expect someone to do it, and because of that chemistry, we don't have to worry or really stress about who's gonna get who, or covering who and who. And because of that, I feel like Winger's coaching has really made us into a very prime team, especially this year. And yeah.
Thank you.
I've played other sports in the past, and I've never enjoyed going to practice. But with volleyball, I enjoy going to practice. That's partly because of her, partly because practices are fun. It's not super serious, but serious.
Okay.
Oh yeah, our practices would be not repetitive, but we would work on the same things over and over. Obviously, because that was the things we needed to work on. But even throughout all of that, the best part about our practices were when we would do these scrimmages, and if you guys saw the footage of how we would play in those scrimmages, I would say we play in those scrimmages harder than we would actual games, just because there was I guess it was just competitive, right? So there was no pressure if we lost. Actually, a lot of them, I think they just didn't want to lose just because it was our own teammates. So just the feeling of that, it made practice really fun. And then I think it really helped. It felt repetitive for us, but I felt it when I go on these grass tournaments or I just play for fun, I can tell the difference, the impact it made on me and stuff.
So, going to practice with having Miss Wenger as my coach, actually, it was much more different than playing with people I knew. Because whenever we practice, it wouldn't be the same thing. It'd be like mixed up, all this, all that. But playing with her and like training it over us, it's really different because she makes it so like cooperative for us to work together and build it together as a team, that we know our roles to like do what we need to do or like know what to get done. So that's how we like popped off in these games, like get things done. My fault. Like how we went undefeated so far. I will say I hope the next upcoming players will like enjoy it as much as we did, but it was really fun. I would say it's really different. It's fun.
Outstanding. All right, let's take a break real quick. And when we come back, we'll wrap things up with the South Warren Spartans. So maybe stick around just for a few more minutes after that too, as well too. And then on the after party as well too, we got Cal Freeman from Montgomery Hot Rods joining us too as well. The Sports Talk live here on Talk 104, 93 BKCT, presented by Greenwood Ford.
Ford just brought back one of its biggest offers with a message that says it all. American value for American values. Right now at Greenwood Ford Lincoln, with employee pricing for all, you pay what we pay on almost all new Ford inventory. That means this is a great time to take a serious look at getting into a new Ford and seeing just how much value is on the table. If you've been waiting for the right time, this could be it. So come see us at Greenwood Ford Lincoln and ask us about the employee pricing today.
As a paratrooper and combat veteran of the U.S. Army, I was trained to run toward the sounds of battle, not away from them. I brought that same mentality home to Kentucky to fight for my clients. I'm injury lawyer Will Williford, and where there's a will, there's a way. I'm blessed to call Kentucky my home. I was born here, grew up here, and raised my family here. When members of my community are injured by the careless actions of another, I'm committed to fighting for them like family. I'm injury lawyer Will Williford, and where there's a will, there's a way.
Big news, Bowling Green. Hills Mattress & More is bigger and better. They've expanded to bring you even more of what you love. We're talking top quality mattresses, furniture, appliances, and TVs. Plus, with financing options and no credit needed, it's never been easier to bring home comfort and style. Come see the all-new expanded Hills Mattress & More at 2539 Mount Victor Lane. Now with more to offer. Hills Mattress & More. Come see what's new.
It is Sports Talk live on Talk 104, 93 KCT, presented by Greenwood Ford. We just got a couple minutes left. We're going to have the Spartans to stick around just for a few more minutes for the after party for a little bit, and then we'll bring on Cal Freeman as well too from Montgomery Hot Rods. But Logan, plug us. How can people tune into Sporting Times this weekend for the big state softball semifinal game and potential championship game on Saturday?
Saturday.
Friday too.
Friday. South Warren against Highlands semifinal. 3:30 up there in Lexington, 2:30 Central Time. Pre-game will probably start 2:10-ish. Tyler Fernandez and Connor Fox going to be on the call. And then same deal with Saturday. If they get there, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central is the game time. And, we're going to have there'll be a lot of listeners really cheering on the Spartans here, try and get a softball state title on another one for the athletic department as a whole.
Yes, not only the state championship, undefeated season, no one's ever gone 45-0, and potential national championship too as well.
A lot of history on the line.
A lot's on the line this weekend. So, but it starts with Highlands, and that is on Friday, and then they'll play the winner of Bullitt East and George Rogers Clark on Saturday. So there we go with that. Logan, real quick before we get you out of here, you're with Sporting Times. You're at BKO. I guess you're in football prep mode now because that's the next thing you'll be doing next week, football season, right?
Yeah, excited for football to get here. Right now, for Sporting Times wise, it's just these couple South Warren games left. Like I said, Tyler and Connor will be up there, and then I'll be around waiting for football. We'll probably do a little bit of football too, and then you can catch me probably on at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock on WBKO. I've been known to have been cited on there these days. I'm doing an internship there for the summer, and so I'll be doing that in the meantime. And excited for football to start. Even though we're not quite done with softball yet. But yeah.
All right, it sounds great. And like I said, football will be here before you even know it. All right, so everyone, what I want you to do right now is to get off this Facebook feed here. Give us a few minutes. We'll reconnect. And when we come back on the after party, a little bit more with the South Warren Spartans. And then we have Cal Freeman, Bowling Hot Rods 2 as well. So, Logan, Will, thanks for filling in for us tonight here on Sports Talk. And this is Sports Talk, live on Talk 104, 93 KCT, presented by Greenwood Ford. All right. We have some things here to...
News and weather this hour is brought to you by BG Tire on Talk 104 and 93.
Against multiple targets, Fox's Trey Yanks in Tel Aviv spoke with President Trump in the situation.
The president tells Fox News that 49